So for push-ups, guys, remember the key things that I'm looking for when we're doing push-ups is that our shoulders are set, right? So we want to be very mindful of our arms coming up. And one of the ways that we can mitigate that is instead of putting our hands up here, which is going to cause you to want to do that more, we're going to keep our hands here. So you see that my hands, if I'm vertical, right, which is going to be the same thing as when I go down, are a little bit lower than my shoulders, not at shoulder height, because once you get there, like the line here becomes very ambiguous or blurry. So when I'm doing the push-up, I'm thinking about posterior pelvic tilt, right? So I'm keeping that tailbone tucked. That's going to keep my abs engaged, right? That tail tuck comes from a couple different things. One, it's going to be your glutes activating. It's going to be your hamstrings activating, but it also is your abs activating. And you know, a lot of people, the way that they train is they say to push your belly button in, and I find that that drawing in maneuver doesn't really translate that well to most people doing the movement correctly. So it's really, really important to me that if you guys are having issues with, you know, coming here and having this seal position, right, and all that, that we are thinking about doing that tail tuck, because again, if I'm trying to keep that tail tucked in this position, right, it's really hard to kind of get into that bad form. So we want to be really, really mindful about that. We want to be as clean as possible. So my hands, I like to have mine a little bit rotated in because it's going to be easier on my elbows and shoulders. And if you need to, you can come up onto your fists, right? So get in position, tuck your tailbone, everything touches at the same time, push up, right? If we want to regress it, we can use a box, and that's going to elevate it a little bit. It's going to take off a little bit of tension. If we want to progress that, we can start playing with our base of support, and you guys see that I've got my suspension trainers up here. Now this is going to come up here in a little bit longer, but this, even nothing else, right? Just that instability factor is going to do a lot to progressing the exercise. Other things that you guys can be doing, and this is a bit of a small one, but you guys can have hands on balls or whatever. That's going to create that instability for you. You can put your feet up on a Bosu. You can put your hand on a Bosu. So just a bunch of different ideas of ways that you guys can progress that movement.